Hello everyone, and welcome to the 6th video in the FINA 5000 DCF Tutorial Series. My name is Harrison Ham, and in this video, we're finally going to calculate an implied share price for our company. And we're going to do that by filling out the perpetuity growth method portion of the spreadsheet. To go into a little more detail about what we're going to do, we're going to calculate the unlevered free cash flow in each of the future periods. Then we're going to discount those back to today's terms using a time factor and our blended weighted average cost of capital. Then we're going to use the perpetuity growth method to calculate a terminal value, which we will then use to get our enterprise value. Then finally, we're going to take that enterprise value and use it to calculate our implied share price. So first, we need to calculate our unlevered free cash flow in each of the future periods. So we actually already have a formula calculating the unlevered free cash flow in the current period. So you can actually just take this formula and copy it and then do paste formulas into the future periods, and it'll go ahead and calculate the unlevered free cash flow in all the future periods as well. So then next, in order to discount these back into today's terms, we need to use a time factor. So the time factor is just the amount of time that there is between the current period and the period that you're projecting. So basically that's time between 2021 and it would be 2022, so that's only 1 year, and then this would be 2 years, and then 3, 4, and 5. So obviously if you have more than 5 years, you'd end up going to a higher number than 5, but basically it's just how much time there is between the future period and the current period. And you're going to end up using this and the weighted average cost of capital to actually discount the unlevered free cash flow back into today's terms. So we're going to basically just take the unlevered free cash flow, and then we're going to divide by parentheses 1 plus the blended weighted average cost of capital, and make sure that is an absolute reference so it doesn't change around when you paste it over. Then you're going to raise that to the time factor. And then you can again copy it and paste it over into all the future periods to get the discounted version of the future cash flows. So now that we have all the future cash flows in today's terms, we can actually add them up in order to get our projection period free cash flow. So this projection period free cash flow is basically representative of the value in unlevered free cash flows that Home Depot is going to create over the next 5 years. So keep in mind that Home Depot is going to continue to be a company after just 5 years from now. So we have to also value the cash flows that are happening 6 years, 7 years, and forever on into the future, which is why we're going to use the perpetuity growth method to calculate a terminal value in order to account for those cash flows. So to calculate a terminal value, we use the perpetuity growth formula, which is equals parentheses 1 plus our perpetuity growth rate, which is up here, it's 2.5%, multiplied by the unlevered free cash flow in the final year, and then we divide by parentheses the blended WACC minus the perpetuity growth rate, which gets us our terminal value. But right now the terminal value is in the terms of money from 5 years from now. So we need to discount that back into today's terms. So we have to do equals the terminal value divided by parentheses 1 plus our weighted average cost of capital. Then we raise that to the time factor. So keep in mind the time factor is how long you have between now and when the cash flow is currently valued. So it's currently valued in our terminal year, so we want to use a time factor of 5 in order to discount back into today's terms. Then to calculate the enterprise value, we just add the discounted terminal value plus the projection period free cash flow to get our enterprise value. So now in order to get from enterprise value to equity value, we need to subtract off net debt. So keep in mind that net debt is debt minus cash. So if we're subtracting that off, then we're going to actually do minus the debt plus the cash instead in order to get the subtraction of net debt. And then all we have to do is take the enterprise value and add the negative net debt in order to get to our equity value, aka the market cap. Now keep in mind, to go from market cap in order to an implied share price, all you have to do is divide by diluted shares outstanding. So first we're going to reference the diluted shares outstanding up here in the assumptions. And then we're going to take the market cap, aka the equity value, and divide by diluted shares outstanding in order to get our first implied price of $293 per share. So now we want to compare the implied price to Home Depot's current price. And to do that, we first need to reference the current price up here in the assumptions. And then we can calculate the premium slash discount by taking the implied price, dividing it by the current price, and subtracting 1. And then we get that Home Depot is currently trading at a premium of around 3%, which implies that it's overvalued by about 3% according to our implied price. In this video, we used the perpetuity growth method to calculate a terminal value. Then we discounted all future cash flows in order to get an enterprise value for our company. Then finally, we calculated an implied share price for our company. In the next video, we'll be using FactSet's comps tool in order to download information on comparable companies to use in our analysis. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.